what nobody talks about? The struggle, the real, raw, early career kind of struggle. The path where you're working a full time job, but still calculating how many sachets of water you can buy before you're broke. The part where your mattress is on the floor, your fridge is empty, if you have one, and your dreams feel like they are on pause while everyone else seems to be sprinting ahead. Everyone pretends that part never happens. They'll show you the success story, the car, the office, the glow up, the house. But the nights when they cried in silence or the mornings when they went to work pretending everything was fine are the parts they do not often show you. So today, I want to do what most people want. I want to talk about it because those early career struggles, the ones we try to hide, are not a sign of failure. They are proof that you are in the fight and no one gets anywhere real without that fight. Here's the truth: most people start their careers with hope, but hope doesn't pay the rent. You graduate, you step out, bright eyed, CV in hand, ready to conquer the world. But reality hits and hits fast. Rent is high, pay is low, every bill feels now like a dreadful test that you have to take. And then you go online, and it looks like everyone else your age is living their best life, traveling, thriving, making money. Meanwhile, you're eating the lowest levels of food that you can find, trying to scratch your salary to the end of the month. You start asking yourself, am I the only one struggling? Did I take the wrong path? Am I falling behind? And the truth is, you're not. You're just in the part of the story most people don't post about. And that's what makes this stage so dangerous. It's not the hardship itself, it's the isolation everyone feels within that hardship, even though there are millions of other people going through that exact same thing. Because everyone is pretending it's easy when it's not. Let's be honest. Part of the reasons why we hide our early career struggles is shame. We're afraid people will think we're lazy or that we failed or that we are failing. So we fake it. We wear our best clothes to work even when our wallets are as empty as you could ever imagine. We post smiles online when our minds are tired and we feel really, really down. In fact, we post about happy things in moments when we are the most sad. We tell people, I'm good, everything is okay, man. But we are not. And that culture doesn't help. That fake it till you make it mentality makes everyone act like they're winning even when they're barely hanging on. It makes everyone blow the trumpet of the minutest win to be the biggest thing in the world, so much so that they pretend as if that is the most perfect life they could ever be living. And what does it leave? It leaves everyone else who is watching on with a feeling as though they are failing. No corporate here, but LinkedIn is the biggest shout for this. But the truth is, every professional you admire has been through it. Every CEO, every artist, every engineer, every athlete. They've had the nights of doubt, the broke seasons, the rejection emails, the jobs they hated but couldn't quit because they needed the money to pay bills. The difference is, now that they've made it, they skip the part of the story. Or at least, they tell it in very ridiculous ways that nobody even believes. So let's say it out loud. Struggle, real struggle, the raw kind that everyone who is watching this experiences at some point, isn't weakness. It's part of the process. And it's not just personal, it's structural. For instance, if you're in Ghana right now, the average graduate earns about 2,500 CDs to 3,000 CDs a month. Rent alone can swallow all of that because you want to go and rent a place and they're asking you to cough up 2 years advance rent, which is like 1 year of your salary. You can't even afford to do that. In cities like Lagos, Nairobi, London, or New York, the numbers might change, but the mathematical reality is the same. You can't save because there is nothing left to save. You can't invest because you are busy surviving. And what makes it worse is that every single time you open your social media app, you see all these content creators and financial literacy experts telling you about the percentages for which you should save, you should spend, you should invest, and all those things. and they create a mirror that constantly shows you a failed version of yourself, that you are not able to save that 20% that they said you should. You are not able to invest that 10% that they said you should. Therefore, you are failing. So when people say just work harder or budget better, they miss the fundamental point. There is no budget to make better. You can't budget your way out of a broken economy. You can only adapt to the realities as and when they come. And that's what most young people are doing. Sharing apartments, taking on side hustles, selling things online, working 2 jobs, and enslaving yourself to a company that doesn't pay you that much. It's exhausting. But it's not failure, it's resilience in real time. And that's something that most people don't feel good talking about. Survival mode teaches you things school never would. You learn how to stretch every single coin. You learn discipline. You learn to find joy in small things, right? Like being able to pay rent on time. That's like a very exciting thing. Or having a weekend to rest instead of having to do a double gig or something of that sort. You have to live the reality that most young people are living, because if you don't, you're going to crash out. And the people who survive this phase usually do it by combining hustle with hope. Some start side gigs, some take evening courses, some lean on family or friends. Everyone builds their own toolkit for getting through it. The trick is to survive without losing your spark, because the hardest part isn't being broke, it's staying motivated when it feels endless, when there is no end in sight, when there is nothing that feels like the next opportunity is going to be bigger or better. That's when habits start to matter. Upskilling, networking, showing up even when it doesn't feel worth it. These small, consistent steps are what pull you out over time. And I think people should start viewing life not within the constant moments, but view it over a stretch of period of time. And sometimes that perspective could help you see the progress much better. It's similar to someone who goes to the gym for one day and is saying, well, I don't think I'm going to get leaner because I've been going to the gym for one day and it hasn't worked. And they go for 5 days and they don't see any results. And they go for 2 weeks and they don't see any results. But someone sits down, sees them over the stretch of a year and says, you've actually grown really, really lean. And even that person starts to realize it over the course of a year. That's how these habits and these scenarios tend to work in real life. The instant pressure on ourselves to make it work now doesn't work, except we create a scenario in which we give ourselves the time we need to get out of it. Here's something most people only realize years later, though. You don't escape this struggle all at once. You grow out of it gradually. You get a better paying role with time because you have more experience. You finish a skilled course because you are able to do it. You start to manage something of your own, like because you have the time, you have the expertise, you are getting paid a little better, so you can dash some of it into that side business that you are building. You find people who believe in you. Slowly, the weight starts to lift. Looking back, the struggle that once felt endless becomes the foundation of your strength. Think about it. The resilience, the budgeting, the grit, those muscles you built in hard times are what makes success sustainable. Because being able to budget money that doesn't exist is obviously a skill that is worth celebrating. It obviously makes you a better manager of money if eventually you have the money to budget. But to get there, you have to stop comparing your journey. Your peace is your pace. Social media will show you everyone else's highlight reel. You have to remember that behind the scenes of your struggle is building a story they would never understand. And behind all those snippets and shots of people partying on a Friday night that you see is a Saturday morning filled with the very same thoughts that you have on your Saturday morning. If we really want things to change, we've got to start normalizing these conversations. Older professionals should tell the truth about how hard it is for them to start. It was for them to start. Universities should prepare students for what's coming, for the realities of a young professional. Employers should stop pretending that entry level pay is enough to live on and be real and be acknowledging and be thankful and be appreciative of what it takes for people at that level to show up consistently and deliver at the workplace. Because when we talk about the struggle openly, it gives people permission to be human. It replaces shame with honesty, and that's how resilience grows. The truth is, early career struggles aren't a failure. They're a season that people enter in, and it's definitely one that needs to be accepted as part of a rational human experience and not a mirror of failure for most people.